But thank you for coming. And I want to ask everybody before I start, because I'll be doing a lot of the talking tonight, there will be a time at the end for questions, because I want to know what your questions are, whether you're someone who's in the class or someone who's just getting ready to start the class. I want to hear your thoughts on it, or hear your questions. So, but before we start, I just wanted to ask everybody, and I'll start with you, Mary Kay. What is it about EFT certification that interests you or attracts you? Are you here because you wanted to heal yourself? Are you here because you want to help others? Are you here because you feel like your life is not going the way you want it to go? Are you here because you want to be a professional practitioner? Are you here because you're a counselor who's looking to get better results for your clients? I just want to know a little bit about why you're here, and we can do that pretty quickly. So we'll just go around from the beginning. So Mary Kay?
I joined originally to help myself and possibly to help others, but not for the indication, or not for to be a practitioner.
That's okay. You know, a lot of people start out that way, and then once they learn it, they get so passionate about it that they start working with family and friends, and the next thing you know, they've got a clientele. So that's, you know, that's just an option. So Heather, you?
I'm a therapist on LICSW, been in practice about 10 years.
That's right.
And I took a training that was just through PESU that was EFT, and I was so impressed that I wanted to bring it to my clients.
Awesome. Sonia?
Sorry, can you hear me okay?
We can.
Okay. Yeah, I am, I'm a Christian counselor. So I'm certified in emotion code and body code, but I just thought that EFT would just add to my repertoire.
Yeah.
You know, because, and I actually tried it on a client the other day, and it worked really well. I was so impressed. So
imagine what you can accomplish once you really know what you're doing.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So
thank you. Hannah?
Yeah.
Hi, I'm Hannah. I actually just wanted to learn more about it. I have a friend that actually receives this treatment, and she was telling me about how helpful it's been to her. So I thought it would be helpful to me, my friends and family. It's not really a business thing that I'm thinking of. More so I want to learn more how to help the people around me. Not to say it wouldn't be, but I was fascinated by what she had told me. So I want to learn more.
Well, awesome. I'm glad you're here. Crystal?
I originally kind of got in it, well, I guess for two reasons. I wanted to fix myself and work on my life and just enrich it more. And I also want to bring that to other people. So I want to go all the way with it.
Awesome. Tammy?
I'm thinking about getting a life coaching certification, and I just thought that this would be a really great addition to do those hand in hand. And
it's perfect.
Yeah, I don't know if I will end up with a full-time business out of it. My husband and I are retiring, and so actually he's retiring, and I'm like, do I want to start working as soon as he retires or spend time with him? But I think that it could be something, you know, part-time. I guess, you know, if you have your own business, you can run your own hours.
Yeah, absolutely. And the thing about EFT is you can work as many hours as you want. So you want to take clients this week, take clients this week. You don't want to take clients next week. You don't want to take clients next week. You want to travel the world and take clients, you can do that, which is what I've been doing myself since 2013. So
you could do them on, I guess, ever since the pandemic, mostly everything is done by Zoom or Skype or something. Anyway, which I really prefer face-to-face.
Yeah.
I just like to be with the person. I feel like, you know, you just have a more close connection. That's just my personal preference. But
well, I hear you. My first 12 years were in the seat with clients in a room before anything like Zoom or Skype even existed.
Yeah.
So Okay, thank you. Ingrid.
Hi. For me, I am a registered nurse,
Mhm.
and I just semi-retired. I just completed life coach training,
Perfect.
and I'm also a Reiki practitioner. So I just wanted to kind of have something to broaden myself and be able
Mhm.
to help people in multiple aspects.
Wonderful.
Mhm.
I love the combination of nurse. You know, we've had some amazing results with people taking EFT into the hospital setting.
Yes.
The things that
Yeah.
I hear
I
are
would love to
amazing.
do that, but they don't value holistic type therapies here where I am. But that's something I really want to work on with the Reiki as well.
Yeah, it's changing. It's changing. There was a
Mhm.
day when you would never see it. When I started this in 1999, you would never
Mhm.
see EFT in a hospital.
Yeah.
Nobody knew what it was. But nowadays it's, you know, it's getting more and more common, and you'll be surprised, but you might, if you make the right presentation,
Yeah,
you
that's
get
what I'm
yourself
hoping.
in there.
That's what I'm hoping.
Okay.
Shelley.
So I was interested in EFT because of the trauma, reducing or eliminating trauma symptoms aspect of it. And I actually spoke with, before I signed up, because I also have, I've done maybe 6 modules in your training already, but I sort of took a hiatus and I want to come back now.
Good.
But I met a psychiatrist in Connecticut who used EFT to, he claims that he cleared the symptoms of trauma from all of the parents involved in the Newtown massacre
Wow.
in the schools. And I was so impressed by when I heard that, you know, I thought, wow, and I really respected him. So I've been, you know, since I started your online training, and the reason I was interested in yours, Deborah, is because you were one of the only practitioners I could find who dealt with trauma and talked about it being part of this training. And I'm a licensed psychotherapist, so I work with, you know, people, particularly childhood developmental trauma.
Oh, great.
So, and you know, it just has been so enormously helpful to me since I started your training, just doing it for myself. I've cleared so much stuff, and I've shared it with certain clients, and it's just been so helpful to them.
I love it.
So I'm just excited to be here and to, you know, start this up again.
So, yeah, Shelley, it's great. Thank you. I love that. And you know, it's one of the things about EFT that's always amazed me too, is how you think there are things that are kind of off limits. You know, I have one of the people in the EFT mentorship program. She's an addiction specialist, and I really respect her. Her work is amazing. She's been doing this 30 plus years, and she was afraid to go after trauma. And I said to her, you gotta go in there. You just gotta go in, because if someone who's been doing this for 30 years as an addiction counselor, is afraid to go after trauma, who's going after it? And she thanked me afterwards, and she's like, wow, because she's been using it now with her addiction people. And you know, you find that there's so much underlying childhood pain in most addicts. And when you get in there and really start giving them a tool to pull that stuff out so that they can heal, you change lives.
Yeah.
And that's what
absolutely.
we're doing here. Leslie.
Hello. So I found EFT maybe about 12 years ago. I was just kind of Googling alternative ways to help my son who was experiencing OCD. And I was shocked to see that it helped him. He was only in 2nd grade instantaneously. And so I guess for probably the last 12 years, I've just been kind of doing street rules type of EFT, you know, just from what I read and whatnot. And I have a healing practice, and I really want to start bringing EFT into it. And I really wanted to make sure I got certified in it.
I love it. Yeah, so many people out there like kind of hacks. The thing is, you don't know what you don't know until you get into the training. You know, you see people like the tapping solution. The tapping solution is wonderful, but the tapping solution is very basic. you know, it's as basic as they come. And when I was on there this last year, I wanted to do something very advanced, actually, for my interview, and they shut it right down. And they're like, no, our audience isn't going to understand that. They took us to the base level. So it's wonderful. And so a lot of the training that you read with the books and the things online, they make you think you know a lot, but it's not until you get into the training that you really understand what you didn't know to start with.
Yeah.
So thank you. Okay, so I'm going to get started, guys. So I'm going to ask you all to mute yourselves. I'm going to be doing the talking for a little while. I will get through this as quickly as I can so I don't keep you on here for too long. And then at the end, we will have a time when we can have questions and discussion. So I'll also be offering some discount coupons for people who are interested in joining the class, and some bonuses at the end. So, so really, when it comes to EFT certification, what it's really all about is living a life of purpose. It's what the name was just saying, that it's about that high that you get when you watch somebody heal, that moment. Someone hasn't muted yet. That moment when you know that the work that you did just changed someone's life. That's what it's all about. It's and so often it's easy to miss what we were born to do by getting caught up in the things that we have to do, that we're supposed to do. And really what EFT certification is a way to live a life of meaning, even while you're doing the things that you have to do. It's about being who you're supposed to be, doing what you're supposed to do, and living an authentic life. So I'm Deborah Lindsey, for those of you who don't know me. I came to EFT because I had anxiety so bad. This was in 1997, 1998. I had started a business working in the music industry, actually. And my anxiety had gotten so extreme that I would actually hide under my desk at work. I had one of those big government desks, and I would just crawl under it. And the people that were working for me at the time would just roll their eyes and go, what is she doing? And so I started looking at every option, you know, and then one day I had actually learned another protocol first, something called JMT. And I had gone to we were doing free healing sessions for people in town. And there was this guy there named Ken, wherever you are, Ken, thank you. And I was really having bad anxiety. And he said, let me show you this thing. And he started tapping on me, right? He's like, just do this. And I was like, this is ridiculous. This is ridiculous. And remember, this is 1999, before anybody had ever even heard of this. And he started tapping on me, and I just laughed out loud at him. But I couldn't ignore that I had just felt a profound change, and that I was not experiencing anxiety the way I had before that. So since nothing else had worked, not really, I started investigating. The internet was new, and I found Gary Craig's training, and the rest is history. I did all of it. And then I went on to get my certification through his program in 1999. And I went through the process of healing myself. And from there, I went on to open a practice. I opened my practice in 2000. I started a healing center in West Virginia called the Self-Health and Awareness Center. And I worked there day in and day out, sitting in front of clients on my craft, doing my craft. Now, I am certified in a lot of different modalities. Like I said, I do JMT, hypnosis, pranic healing, touch for health, quantum healing, Reiki, Kalemi, and NLP. The list goes on, because I had a healing center. We did tons and tons of training, and I got to take everything. So, but at the end of the day, it always came back to EFT. And the reason for that, so someone still hasn't muted. If you could mute, please. At the end of the day, the reason for it was you watch people heal right there. If I do Reiki, if I do pranic healing, something like that, people might get better, but the level of transformation, the elegance of the transformation, the speed of the transformation, the obviousness of the transformation, and the permanence of the transformation was only coming from EFT. And so when I do my training, I pull all these other things in, but at the end of the day, I do teach you classic EFT, but I will bring in little pieces of this. And one of the things I like about EFT too, is that all of you can do the same. So I know we have massage therapists and we have counselors and we have all different walks of life here, all different levels of training. Each of you will bring yourself to EFT. So many different modalities require you to do the techniques a specific way, and there's no room for you in the process. With EFT, you bring yourself, you bring your trainings to the table. If you're a life coach, you integrate it into your life coaching. If you're a counselor, you integrate it in. And that's one of the beauties of this, is that it has that level of flexibility, and that each of you can bring a piece of yourself to EFT. So at first I started doing the certification training. I'm not even sure I remember what year now. And I was doing it live in person. I traveled around, and it was frustrating because you only get a few days with people. And even if they traveled several times to take different levels of training, I never felt like people were getting what they really needed. And that's because you can't learn it in a weekend workshop, which is what frustrates me so right now, because so many people still think that's the gold standard. I would never teach EFT live again. And the reason for it is it's not fair to my students. You can't learn it in a weekend. Imagine becoming a nurse or a counselor in a weekend. You have people's lives in your hands. You have their well-being in your hands, and they need you to be good at this. And to learn it in a weekend workshop is not enough. So when I started IMU back in 2009, I created, IMU is the International Metaphysical University. I don't run it anymore. I still sit on the advisory board, but I ran it for a long time. And I created the EFT training as a part of that. And then later spawned it off into its own thing. And now I have gone on to train more than 5,000 people around the world. I feel really blessed to have done that. It gives my life meaning. And I feel like we have created this army of practitioners around the world who are all out there healing themselves and healing others. And as a result, we are healing the world. And so I then went on, I sat on the board of advisors at the Hocking College in Ohio to create an energy healing program. It does not exist anymore, which makes me sad, but I did get the chance to create a program at the college level. I currently sit on the board of advisors of AEFT, which is the Association of EFT Professionals. We'll talk about that a little later, and FDN. They've recently invited me to the board there, which is Functional Diagnostic Nutrition. So I have been traveling the world since 2012. And EFT really made that possible. So for the first, many, many years of my practice, I had to get up every day and go to my office and sit there because the phone might ring. And clients had to have a way to get a hold of me. But since we've been able to take the training online, since we have Zoom and we have Skype and we have Messenger and we have so many different, video platforms now, none of you have to open a practice, open a business. None of you have to pay for an office like I used to have to do. You don't have to sit there every day. You have complete flexibility of where you are in the world and when you want to see clients, and the expenses that used to come with having an EFT practice are gone. You just need, really a Facebook page or a website and some marketing, and you've got a practice out of your own home. So to me, that's a huge, huge benefit that didn't exist when I started all this a long time ago. So thanks to another woman named Rosanna, I know we have a woman named Rosanna in the class, she gifted me with her flight benefits in 2012. So I was able to travel the world. I was able to do EFT from all over the world. And when all was said and done, I settled in Panama City, Panama, which is where I live now quite happily. And I think most of the people have heard about me. I kind of fly under the radar. I'm not out there doing the sort of broad marketing that a lot of the bigger names are. But I think a lot of people have heard of me because of my talk on the Tapping World Summit in April of this year. And I talked about money issues, actually. And that class is going to be available for sale really soon. We made a class to back that up. So what is EFT? A photo of my good friend Keith here, who helps us with our email marketing. EFT is known for the emotional freedom techniques. It's also referred to as tapping. It's a transformational energy healing technique that addresses energy imbalances in the body. And these negative responses manifest in the forms of negative emotions, addictions, phobias, pain, and more. So what happens is you tap on these meridian systems, you tap on these specific points in the body. And what you're doing is you're bringing the energy of the body back into balance. And that allows the persons to heal. We don't actually heal anyone, we're conduits. The person is the healer. And we are the person who makes, teaches them a process, guides them through a process that allows them to have a healthier, happier life. So EFT is like acupuncture in a way, but without the needles. It's based on the same principles of ancient acupuncture. It works by balancing the energy system of the body. So it's based on the understanding that a lot of people still struggle with, which is that our thoughts and emotions are energy first. We discuss this, we go through this completely in the class, so you really understand what I'm talking about. Thoughts and emotions are energy in motion. And when that gets blocked, we get blocked. And when we get blocked, we manifest symptoms. And these symptoms lead us to, pain, and whether it's physical pain, emotional pain, spiritual pain. And in the end, what it ends up is a mitigated life. And the whole idea behind EFT, the whole reason we do this is to live our fullest lives. Whether we're doing EFT to make our own lives better, whether we're doing EFT because of that feeling of helping other people, where we're doing it because we have loved ones who need us, whether we're doing it because we need to live an authentic life. At the end of the day, it's all about living the fullest version of ourselves. That's what EFT certification is all about. So the history of EFT, I'm not going to get into this a lot, but it was founded by a man named Gary Craig in 1995. But it really is all about standing on the shoulders of giants. It's about, it's combining the work that started really with George Goodheart. George Goodheart was the founder of PK, and then went on to George Thie. George Thie was the founder of Touch for Health, and then Roger Callahan, which is the founder of Thought Field Therapy. So George Goodheart was the first one to recognize that the energy points were connected to emotion. John Thie was the one who put them all into place. And then Roger Callahan went and he took a training from John Thie in Thought Field Therapy, and he brought the information home. He sat down in front of a client. He was a psychotherapist. He had a client who was sitting in front of him who had a water phobia. And she'd had that water phobia for many years with no results from traditional therapy. And she was so afraid of water that she was afraid to wash herself. She was afraid to take showers. And so while he was sitting down in front of her, he remembered from the class that he took from Callahan, or from John Thie, that this point underneath the eye is related to the stomach. And she kept saying, she was sitting next to a swimming pool. He was doing a desensitization technique, which obviously wasn't working. So she's sitting in front of the swimming pool, and he says, what does it feel like? And she says, well, I have this stress in my stomach. So because he knew this was the stomach point, he just started tapping on the stomach point. That was enough for her to get up and say, Dr. Callahan, I'm healed. So she gets up out of her chair and starts going to the swimming pool. He's like, wait. And she said, Dr. Callahan, I'm healed, I'm not stupid. And so then that was what led to Thought Field Therapy. But Callahan knew how important it was. He knew how special this was. And so he was only training professionals, and he was charging $100,000 for the training. Gary Craig went, he took the training, he learned from him, and then he started experimenting with it. Callahan's training was very complicated. He was able to to make it simple and still very, very effective. And thus, the emotional freedom techniques was born. So EFT is now pretty much mainstream. When I started doing this in 1999, no one had ever heard of it. It was completely weird and no one did it. But now you see it in hospitals, you see it in chiropractic centers, massage centers, life coaches. You see it on mainstream media. Fox News did a big thing on it. It's been on Oprah, it's been on Dr. Oz, it's been on all these different things. And you even find it now at the VA as an accepted protocol. And it is readily understood that EFT is among the most researched of the energy healing techniques out there. I'll say that, not counting acupuncture, of course. Acupuncture has thousands of years behind it. Okay, so here's some of the things that EFT can help. And really the list is endless. And the reason it works with all of them is because underneath of it is the same thing. It's a blockage in the energy system. So whether you're working with childhood trauma or sexual trauma or eating disorders or grief, it's all the same thing. And when you learn the process, you will have the capacity to try it on everything and find that it works with so many different things. I think someone still has their mic on. So why would you get certified? I think you guys already told me, really. The first reason is healing yourself. If you are someone who comes from a traumatic background, if you're someone who is stuck and unable to manifest the kind of quality of life that you want, the first step, the first leg on this journey is healing yourself. And that's all about what we do in level 1. To me, for anybody to become a practitioner, they have to start by doing the work on their own self. You learn the power of EFT in your own life, and you then transfer that knowledge, you transfer that understanding on to the people that you help from there. Now, I don't teach level 1 by itself. I teach level 1 in combination with level 2. And the reason for that is that I had too many people who were taking the level 1 training and then setting up shop 2 as practitioners. I can't have my name on it. Level 1 is not preparation to work with others professionally. It's about working on yourself. So, and then in level 1, you're also going to learn how to help your family and friends. So, you know, for a lot of people, you know, like Leslie, it's like you have, you know, a sick child or someone that you really love that you want to help. EFT is great for that. So the next one, of course, for me, the gold standard is opening a professional practice. And the great thing about this is you can do it without having going on to getting, you know, 6 or 8 years of education on top of it. Those who have 6 or 8 years of education, who are professional counselors, God bless. But you don't have to do that to be an effective practitioner. And to me, I think that's super, super special. And a lot of, well, I would say the majority of my graduates charge upwards of $100 an hour, which is comparable to what people make who have been, you know, in school for many, many years. And it's because we get such profound and amazing results, particularly when you're really good at it, when you're really well trained and you know how to maneuver around within an issue and maneuver around within someone's life. The results that you can get are profound, they're life-changing. So another reason people get certified is professional counselors, social workers. I know we have a number of them here. That traditional therapy techniques like cognitive behavioral therapy can be very effective, but they seem to have a limit. And what people in the professions have found is that EFT improves their results so significantly that they talk among themselves now. And it seems like pretty much everybody is getting trained. Professional counselors everywhere are adding EFT to the toolbox because it often works when nothing else does. You get results much more rapidly, and often visible results are attained in just one session. I'm going to go off topic here for a second and talk about this one woman I had a chance to train. She, her name was Cynthia, and Cynthia is a counselor in a like a domestic abuse shelter. Not that, it's like a full, it's not a shelter, it's a full center where they send people who have domestic abuse and addictions and so forth. She was the first one in her facility to get trained. She was so successful that the clients were all asking for her. Everybody in there wanted to work with Cynthia. And it really caused some unrest within the system because everybody was, you know, feeling threatened by it until the management decided to train everybody. And so they sent everybody to me and they all got trained, and now they get amazing results with their clients across the board. So they're one of the top facilities in their area as a result. So another reason to get certified, to me, this is the real reason, is to live the life you were born to live. If you were born to be a healer, if you're someone who gets juice like me, you get juice from helping people heal, from just watching it happen right in front of you. And I've been so blessed to have seen it over and over and over and over and over and over. I've watched people who had, you know, addictions get better, phobias get better sometimes in a minute. I watched people, I had one man that I worked with, actually 3 different men who were paralyzed, and to watch them be able to use their hands as a result of EFT, that's powerful, powerful stuff. And that's why you do it, because it's about living the life that you're supposed to live and doing what you're supposed to do and loving your life every day when you wake up, because your life has meaning and purpose. I know for me, I can't even imagine who I would be or what I was doing, what I would be doing if I hadn't had this technique, because I'm blessed that my life has meaning and purpose. I have no question about it. So the other reason is that to be a professional, you need professional training. Again, it's very easy to think that you can read a book on tapping or watch a few videos on YouTube and feel like you know enough, especially because EFT is so powerful that even if you don't know what you're doing, you can tap with somebody and see results. You're like, wow. But as a professional, people put their well-being in your hands. They put their happiness in your hands, their life in their hands, their pain in your hands. And to do it without professional training, in my opinion, is irresponsible. But more than that, it's you know, you don't get the kind of results that a professional is going to get. And that's, you know, why do it if you're not going to do it right? And the truth is that you really can't know what you don't know until you know it. And that's the reality of EFT training. Once you get in there, you find out so many really important pieces of information that you're going to pull this one out here and pull this one out there and pull this one out here. And so that no matter who sits down in front of you, when you're really well trained, you got a tool that you can adjust to help anybody. Okay, so the value of EFT is that it brings freedom. EFT certification brings freedom. You have emotional freedom, you get freedom of schedule, you work when you want, where you want, you have freedom of location. Like I said, I traveled the world. I've worked with people in 50 countries around the world now. Financial freedom, you write your own paycheck. If you do $100, $150 an hour, which is very, very common, you only need to do 10 sessions a month and you're okay, depending on how much you want to make. But if you want to do more than that, the potential of taking online classes and doing things on a grand scale are there. And most importantly, it gives you the opportunity to live life on your own terms. So it is a journey of transformation. It's a journey of self-healing. It's a journey of self-discovery, a journey of moving beyond simple tapping into becoming a true professional. So I now teach 3 levels of EFT certification. Level 1, which is all about healing yourself. Level 2 is all about working with what I call issue-based clients. So what is an issue-based client? An issue-based client is somebody who has a bothersome memory. It's somebody who has a phobia or a pain, a migraine. These are isolated situations that have short time frames. Whereas master practitioner, level 3, is all about working with life clients. Now, life clients are those complex people with chronic issues. So a lot of times I see people with level 1 and level 2 going on to help life clients. But when they get in there, what happens is the client drags them around by the tail a little bit. They don't know how to manage or control a session. They don't know how to map out a long-term process for actually helping people with long-term chronic illnesses. And that's really what we do in level 3. Level 3, honestly, it's the work of my life. It's my 20 years of experience are in that class. Level 1 and level 2, honestly, you can get similar training from many different practitioners. Level 3, that's the work of my life. So level 1, again, is designed to give you the basics for tapping on yourself, your family, your friends. It's designed for everyone, even those who are completely new to tapping, because it takes you from the very beginning to the end. Includes 6 modules. That includes video teachings. It's about 24 hours in there, demonstration videos, and you're tapping exclusively on yourself. There is a downloadable manual, an online exam. You have forum interaction with other students, and then we oversee all of that. Either I do or one of my team members will oversee you. You get 2 live calls a month, which are directly with me, and you get your level 1 certification at the end. So here are the different things that you are going to learn in level 1. I put it here so you can read it. You can also check it out on the website at onlineeftcertification.com, but I will not, read that out to you. So in level 2, you learn how to work with the issue-based clients to address limiting beliefs, bothersome memories, cravings, pain, phobia, and more. Again, 6 modules, about 24 more hours, demonstration videos. Here you begin the process of tapping with other students. So your sessions, your practice sessions are all done within the context of the course. I don't expect you to go out and find 100 people, work 100 hours on other people before you can get certified. I think it's important to keep the expectations doable and realistic. And so many of the EFT trainings that are out there right now, forgive me for speaking badly of anyone, have such unrealistic expectations that I don't know how anybody gets through it. The price can go into thousands and thousands of dollars, and it can take years to really get through everything. In my training, realistically, level 1 and level 2, if you have 4 hours a week that you can work on the class, you can be through it in 12 weeks. So, so all of your sessions are done with other students, and then finally, and later in the class, you take it out to work on people in the community. And very rarely does anybody tell me they have trouble finding people to work with on that. If you do, you just let me know, I find you people. But then when you finish with level 2, you are now ready to open a practice and start helping people. It gives you fast track membership into AEFTP, which is our accrediting body. I'll talk about that in a minute. And you get your level 2 certification. So here are the things that we address in level 2. Again, this information is available on the website at onlineeftcertification.com or centerforeftstudies.com. And so those are the things that you learn in level 2. So level 3, this is where you learn how to work with life clients to resolve complex chronic issues, where you really become a master of the techniques. And at the end of it, honestly, you're among the best trained practitioners in the world. 12 more modules, about 45 more hours, same basic layout with demonstration videos, but there's extensive hands-on work. You have an online exam, and you get 2 one-on-one calls with me. So what we do in those calls is you're working with life clients, and you're calling me, and we are discussing, those clients, what you need to do to get better results, where you're getting stuck, where you're getting results, and so forth. For this class, you of course have to do level 1 and 2 to qualify, and you also have to take the energy anatomy course, which is a course that's taught actually by Carolyn Mace. I oversee it. But that course, I think, is critical to being a great practitioner. It's where you learn how to read symptoms, read the body, and it speeds up your results like crazy. So, and there's where you get your master certification. So here are the things that you learn in level 3. It's very extensive, and like I said, most of this stuff you're not going to find in any other training anywhere in the world. With level 1 and level 2, Gary had outlined what it was that we were to teach, but he left level 3 up to each of us. So you can take 50 different level 3 trainings and get 50 different trainings. So when you choose your practitioner, what you're really choosing is their background, their history, what they need to tell you. And that's where I think my 20+ years of experience come to play, because I sat in the seat with clients for a long time. And so I bring my wealth of experience to you to help speed up the process and turn you into a great practitioner. So how does it work? All the training takes place online. You don't have to travel anywhere. There's no expensive travel involved. Most of the trainings nowadays that are still doing it in person require you to go several times. For each level, you have to travel several times, very expensive travel a lot of times. You have to wait in between before the next class is available. With the online, you don't have to do any of that. You work wherever you are, no travel involved, and it gives you the time. The thing that I think is the best about the online training is that it gives you the time to learn a concept, apply a concept, embody a concept before you go on to the next one. In live training, you get so much information so fast, you can't possibly remember it. You're gonna forget 70% of it within a week. And because you learned about EFT, you didn't embody EFT. And the goal of the online training, the training that I have, is that with each thing, you practice it, you know it, you get good at it, and then you try the next thing, and one thing builds upon another to make you truly great at this. So, as I just said, it's all about embodying the skill set. In my opinion, it's significantly superior to weekend workshop training. I know that because I taught it myself for years. But this takes place over 12 weeks. Now, the thing about that is you can move faster. So if you're someone who can do 8 hours a week, or someone who already has a lot of knowledge or skill about EFT, you can move faster through the training. I have one person who finished it in 3 weeks. So that's, that's an option as well. So benefits of online training more is consistency of content. You go to a live workshop, you have somebody in there who asks a lot of questions that aren't irrelevant, takes up a lot of time and attention from the instructor. Instructor doesn't have time to get to it all. Or the instructor is bored with this content this day. With live training, you get consistent, comprehensive content. You also have lifetime access to the class. So like some of the people talking here today, you get distracted, you need more time, that's okay. You can take as much time as you want. Or if you're someone who completes the training and you go, oh, I just really don't remember how to do that technique, click back in and watch the training again, or come back and review it years later. So also it comes with an online community. So with that, you will be working with other students online to be doing your practice sessions. You do that inside Zoom, Skype, Messenger, whatever. And you can meet with as many people as you want. So you're both doing sessions and receiving sessions. So if you get stuck in the training, if you feel like you need extra help, your community is there. So click into Facebook, ask somebody for help. I'm in there as well. And somebody will get on with you. The other option, if you're in that situation, is join the mentorship program, because there you really have a strong, very active community of people who are supporting you. So again, all your sessions are done within the course. You don't have to go out and do 50 or 100 hours outside the course. You have enough training inside the course that by the time you're done, you are good at what you do. That's the goal. And because there are literally hundreds of people in the class, at any moment, you can readily find tapping partners. I rarely have anybody tell me that's a problem. And again, because of the online community, you have somebody there all the time. If you get a little lost, if you need some help talking to, with a particular client, you have the online community there to give you that boost of confidence, to answer your questions, or just help you through. So another one is that you have on-site and personal interaction. So me or someone in my team reads and responds to every post that you make. Within the classroom, we offer gentle guidance and insights to help you improve as you go along. And then of course you have the live calls with me twice a month. So that's live calls with me twice a month. You'll see I'm over here in the call. So the training is accredited training. We're accredited with the Association of EFT Professionals. Now, in the interest of whatever you call it, I was a part of actually creating a EFTP in the beginning. I did that because I found the other again, speaking badly, I found the other associations to be a little bit too heavy-handed. The things that you have to do, the constant CEs and ongoing training that you have to take to maintain your certification, to me were, I'll just say it, ridiculous. I've had professional counselors tell me that the number of CEs that they had to do to maintain their accreditation with other accrediting bodies was more than they had to do for their licensure. And to me, once you've done your training, that's yours, you own it. That certification is yours, that designation is yours. And honestly, there's lots of ongoing training you can do, but most of what you're going to learn is in the seat. You get in front of people and you have to work your way through a problem, that's when you learn. And to me, that's enough. So AEFTP is a great agency. I'm not the owner. I do sit on the board of advisors for that, but it is a separate organization. And it comes with a lot of different benefits. The current director has a wonderful online directory. She has hundreds of members now. She offers discounts on insurance, practitioner support. I know she's working now on website templates and stuff for EFT practitioners. There's an events calendar where you can post your stuff and more. So that's the Association of EFT Professionals. So that, by the way, is optional. When you finish the certification, you will qualify for that and you can join to turn your certification into an accredited certification. So then the next question is, why me? There's a lot of people out there teaching EFT certification, so I can see why that is confusing, trying to figure out where to go. So I think the thing that separates me most is that I've got 20 years in the seat. I worked with people for 20 years. I don't do it as a life coach who does EFT. I don't do it as a counselor who does EFT. I don't do it as a researcher who does EFT. I don't do it as a chiropractor who does EFT. I do EFT. It is the primary focus of my work. So many of the people who are out there teaching this use it as a secondary tool in their main area. So one of the more famous people teaching right now, he's a researcher. He doesn't sit in the seat. Is the famous chiropractor who's teaching it. He doesn't sit in the seat. And the thing that I bring is that I sit in the seat and I work with clients. I know what works, I know what doesn't work. It's not my secondary thing, it is my thing. And so I think that gives me a unique perspective out there. The training is, comprehensive. It comes from my 20 years of experience. You have direct access to me. I also think the course has realistic expectations. You can get through it in a realistic amount of time and still come out of it a great practitioner. The pricing is realistic. Some of these trainings are going $5,000, $10,000, which I just think is ridiculous. And I also think the thing that I really bring to it is that I teach EFT not as about tapping on points. I teach it as a soul level process. I think it goes way beyond, you know, of course you're going to know what the points are, which meridian they're connected to, what emotion they're connected to, why you would use this point at this moment in time. You're going to learn all of that. But at the end of the day, why does someone heal? Why does this person heal and this person not heal? And that's soul level work. And so when I teach EFT, I try to teach it from the deductive perspective of why does this person have this little tiny symptom, and what does that have to do on the grand scale of that person's life? And if we can find the big picture, the little picture is easy, and we help to transform people's lives. And also, I'm not going to go through all the testimonials. I thought about it, but you can go to the website and read them. There's hundreds. My students love me. So there's that. So I also think another thing that we bring to the table that is unique in the world is the EFT Tapping Mentorship Program. And that's there to help you build your practice when it's done. So I see a lot of people get trained, they want to become practitioners, and then they get tripped up at the end. They don't know how to build a practice. They know how to do a great session. They know how to help people heal, but actually being able to create a successful practice is another piece of it. So we created the EFT Tapping Mentorship Program, and I created that with a wonderful woman by the name of Dawn Pensack. So if you joined the program, you'll be working with both Dawn and I. And in the mentorship program, which is really, really affordable, I think it's $33 a month at the moment, you get all the marketing, training, community support, and ongoing, just ongoing tapping, ongoing everything that you need. So it has an amazing community. We're on Facebook, we're on WhatsApp. So the WhatsApp is really cool because we're in there at any moment. Somebody's got an issue, they type it in, and somebody responds so quickly. Like, we're in there all the time with each other, and it has really built up a group of friends as well. Like, when we get on our live calls, we have 2 live calls a month. I know the people in the program. I know them, they know me. So it does give you direct access to me. It does give you direct access to Dawn, who is also really great at this, also an EFT master. I trained her. And it has the success path, and the success path is where you learn all the skills that you need. So it's going to say, step 1, you're going to do direct outreach. Oh, what is direct outreach? Here's how you do it. Here's the process. Here's how you do it. Here's the training. And we're actually getting ready to teach a course on direct outreach that will be free to the EFT Tapping mentorship community, whereas other people will be paying for that. So we do have, a lot of free live discounted training for people in that mentorship program, live or free or discounted for the live trainings that we do as well. So here's some questions people ask. How long will it take to finish the course? Again, it's up to you. Level 1 and 2 is about 45 hours. 3 is about 45 hours. Energy anatomy is another 10 hours. So really, if you do it at 4 hours a week, you're done in 12 weeks, 14 weeks for level 3. But you have as much time as you need. You can work at your own pace. There's no limit, no time limit built in. And the class works around your life, not mine. And again, you can do it faster if you want. What technology do you need? You just have to have a computer or a tablet and some internet. The technology is really easy to use. So I've had people that are 80 years old take the class who don't have any problems. You can also take it on your phone if that's the best that you've got. It's not ideal, but you can. Price, we'll talk about price here in a second, but my program really is one of the more affordable programs on the market. In fact, I get a lot of slack about it. People ask why someone with 20 plus years of experience in the field, who's worked with thousands of people around the world, keeps her price so low. I do it because I want everybody to be able to afford it. I make enough money. Not that I don't want more, but I think there's a lot of programs out there that are charging $5,000, $10,000 for people who have money. I want to be the person who brings it to the average person who doesn't necessarily have $5,000 they can set aside, but they have to heal themselves, or they have to heal their friends, or they want to be out there making a living, helping people, living an authentic life. So I keep my prices low. And because I don't travel now, I don't have to pay for hotel rooms and airplane tickets and all the stuff that I used to have to do before. Now my prices are lower than they were when I had that. So it gives me the option of keeping my prices low. We have payment plans that makes it really easy. You can also purchase using PayPal credit, which is an awesome thing because they give you 6 months interest and you can get the best purchase price. So if you do the, pay for it all at one time, but use PayPal credit, you get the lowest price from me and you do it all 0% interest, and you have as much time as you need, or you have 6 months to pay for it instead of 4 months with me. So, and the thing that I think is relevant with just the current price, when you see how much you make as an EFT practitioner, it's a no-brainer because you can make up the price of the course in like a couple of weeks of seeing clients, just a few clients and you make up the price of the course. So is the course recognized worldwide? Yes, I've trained people now in more than 50 countries. Is there a money back guarantee? Yep. If you don't like the class, you've got up to 7 days to send me an email and I will send you your money back. No questions asked. So for people who buy today, so as an incentive, what you're going to get is 3 months free of the EFT Tapping mentorship program. So like I said, that's $33 a month. So that's a $100 bonus for you, but it's more than the $100. Like it's while you're going through the training, you have the community support, you have, because part of the mentorship program is that they have an accountability group that meets every Sunday night. So if you're struggling, you've got the accountability group. You go on WhatsApp, you say, I'm struggling, and somebody's going to give you the push that you need to get through. So it's great for people who are currently in the program, and you will get that bonus for free. The second bonus that you're going to get is a discount on your registration. You're going to need to write that down. Did I miss a slide? So you're going to get a discount on your registration. So you're going to need to write down these coupon codes, guys. So you might want to grab a piece of paper and a pen or jot it down on your computer or your phone somewhere. So I think I deleted a page somehow. So the other thing that you're going to get is free membership in a class we recently taught called Shifting Your Success Set Point. And it's really relevant for people in the training because so many people block their own success. You get in your own way, you sabotage your own self, or you limit yourself from the success that you can have. So in this class, which is a 5-part class taught by myself and Don Pensack, you are going to do processes and tapping in order to reset your success set point, in order to make it possible for you to be the best version of yourself. So you get both of those bonuses if you join tonight. If you join today, I'll give you the link here in a minute and you will have, I don't remember if it's 30 minutes or 1 hour to join to get those 2 bonuses. So then, so the normal price of the course is really low. Like I said, level 1 and 2 combined is $599. If you're doing sessions at $100, 6 sessions, like that's a day of work. You make back the money. And level 1, 2, and 3, for any of you who are professional counselors, any of you who are on the front line, I highly recommend it. If you have any questions about which of these 2 paths is the right path for you, go to the website at onlineeftcertification.com and take the quiz, which EFT certification path is right for you. It's at the very top. And that is going to help you to decide which of these 2 paths is right for you. The level 1 and level 2 is $19.90, or level 1, 2, and 3 combined is $19.99. That includes the energy anatomy. Now, there are discounts already built into this. If you pay in full, you're already getting the level 1 and level 2 for $549. You're already getting level 1, 2, and 3 for $17.99, including the energy anatomy, which is another $197. So that's included in that price. Now, so here are some coupon codes that you can use. So write these down. So level 1 and level 2, if you're paying in full, you use the coupon code webinar bonus. And that's another $50 off. So you get $100 off the training. So you're getting the whole training for $499, which is just like crazy cheap. And then if you're looking to use a payment plan, just use the coupon code webinar bonus PP. That'll get you $50 off. So instead of $5.99, you're paying $5.49. Webinar bonus PP. If you're going for 1, 2, and 3, the very best pricing you can get, if you already know you want 1, 2, and 3, the best thing to do is do the pay in full, and then you use the bonus webinar bonus max. So you're already saving $200 by paying in full and another $250 with the coupon code. So that's $450 off, which is really incredible. And if you can't afford to pay for it on your credit card or out of the bank account, just use PayPal credit and you can get the very best bonus, very best pricing of all, and still have 6 months to pay for it, 0 interest. And then if you want to do the payment plan on level 1 and level 2 and 3, which you certainly can, use the coupon code webinar bonus 3 PP. And that will still get you $200 off. So you're at $17.99 instead of $19.99. I think that's correct. So how to purchase. So yeah, the bonuses are good for an hour. You go to onlineeftcertification.com. So again, you got to go specifically to this page, which is register-now-webinar for those bonuses to work. So onlineeftcertification.com, register-now-webinar, and put in your coupon code to get those prices. So here are the coupon codes. I'm going to go ahead and give you a minute to write those down.